Hey, it's Mr. Johns. Welcome to this edition of Grizzly Tech or Grizz Tech. Currently, my Tech 8 class is starting to build tiny houses, and we've designed them in 3D using SketchUp, and now we are going to build a model. It doesn't have to be the same, using foam and something that will look nice. And the challenge is to try to fit everything required to live in such a small space. And so let's talk about the trailer first. This is not the only way to build a trailer. It's definitely not fancy. But the length has to be 12.5 inches long. The living quarters, the rectangle part, is 10 by 4. All right, so I've just got basically a triangle going from, I went to 10 inches and then I just went down to the middle, and that's going to be the hitch. The problem was, well, how do you put wheels on something that is so skinny, and the wheels can't stick out wider than the trailer, and all we have available to us are short dragster axles and wheels. So what I did basically was I started by cutting the first layer with some gaps that would fit these wheels, and then I realized, well, the wheel isn't going to clear it's going to stick above the floor, and I really don't want to put little fender wells here like a lot of trailers do. They'll have some metal fender wells that cover this, and you have to design up and over that, which is fine, but we're so close. So what I did is I put a second layer, which gave me the clearance I need. And so I think with a third layer, which will be the floor, we will then clear that wheel. So that's just one way. However, I also had to jack up the bottom with 2 thicknesses of little square pieces of foam. So I've got 2 pieces of foam on the bottom. I have a straw hot glued to the bottom, and then the axle goes through the straw. And then on the top, I've got 2 layers of foam, and then I'm going to have a third, and the third layer is going to be what gives us that clearance. And yes, I should technically have a fender on the side. I don't know if I'll go that far. I probably will, but we'll see. So, all right, so challenge 1 is to build the trailer, and there we go. We're good there. Challenge 2, how do you build a tiny house? Well, I know it's pretty tough to start from scratch, and I know if I was buying one or building one, I probably wouldn't just sketch it on a napkin. I probably would search online, and so I did a search for tiny house blueprints or floor plans, and I found one that I liked. One reason I like this is that the bed, it's a queen bed. That's a good-sized bed for a tiny house, but it's upstairs in the loft. And so you have some stairs that go up, and the entire upstairs is pretty much bedroom. In fact, there's even closets and shelves up there. So a little separate air conditioning unit. So pretty cozy. And because the bed's upstairs, that really opened up all kinds of room down below. If you're trying to cram everything into the downstairs, you have got to be really creative, and the bed's going to have to be really small. So now I didn't stick with this. I did some modifications, but step 1 was basically to take that plan and sketch it in pencil on my 10 by 4 piece of foam. And so make sure you start off first by drawing walls, right? So you can't be wider than 4 feet. So when we put on the side walls, they are going to go on top of the floor, okay? So you got trailer, you've got flooring, you've got walls, and then you're going to have a roof eventually. So step 1, just so you don't forget, is to take your ruler, and it should be the thickness of a piece of foam, so you can measure a piece of foam and then just draw a line all the way down every side of your floor. And so mine's pretty rough, but and I've done a lot of changes and work on this, but I want to make sure that I know that I've got those walls. And when you have the walls, that also allows you to put the symbol in for windows. And so I have a window here, a window above the sink, a window above the bathroom sink, and then two nice big windows in this living area, which is pretty big now, and a window by the door. So that's what I've got. Now I've made some changes to the floor, to the blueprint, to the floor plan. The one that I chose basically has a washer dryer. I decided not to try to cram that in. I would just go buy a laundromat once a week and wash my clothes. I don't need to have to do laundry in my tiny house. I don't know. If I lived in it full time, I would definitely want a washer and dryer. And I have room. I may still change my mind. I've got some room right here in front of the ladder that maybe, but that's a weird place to put a washer and dryer. So I took that out. Also, I'm going to call this area utility closet. You have to have a water heater and an HVAC system. HVAC, heating and ventilation and air conditioning. Heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. So it's basically your heater, your circulation of air, which is like a fan, and then your AC in the summer. Okay, so that's in a utility closet. And then this side of the tiny house has a fold-down desk and a sofa. Interesting. And then there's another desk here and a table here. That just seems like a lot of desks and tables. Where I'm thinking, okay, the first thing I'm thinking is, where does my big screen TV go? Now, if you look at this floor plan, where is the wall space? There's a window here, windows here. There is no place. So they must either put a little tiny TV up on this desk, maybe. But where do they sit? They sit on the sofa, I guess, over here. And maybe they put the table on this. Put the TV on the table. I don't know, but the change I made right away was I just put one table here with two comfortable chairs. And so these would probably be recliners, something pretty comfortable. You're going to spend some time in. I got rid of the desk in the corner because I can use this table to do whatever I need to. And then on the other side, instead of the fold-down desk and couch or sofa, I just made this whole thing a big screen TV with storage. That's awesome. So I can sit in one of these chairs. I can pretty much eat here. I can have my laptop or computer here, and I can sit and watch TV. This is the entertainment area, entertainment center of the world right there. Entertainment, did I say that right? And then I just have to go up this ladder to get into bed, and that's all I need upstairs is just the bed. So I'm pretty happy with that. And so what I want to talk about now is how do you transfer that? Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. How do you transfer that drawing? So sketch it in, make sure you've got room for everything. And how do you know you have room? Well, to scale, I figured a tiny house door is 30 inches wide. So divided that by 24, and that gave me 1.25. And so I know my model door, because this model is 1/24th scale. Everything is 24 times smaller than the real thing. And so if the door is 1.25 inches, that means a person can comfortably get through that door. So I decided just to go ahead and make pretty much everything, the hallway here, the kitchen work area, the little bathroom, everything is basically the same. So I knew I wasn't going too small, and you'd have to sit there and you couldn't open the refrigerator because there's just no room. And so, this refrigerator door is going to open and be, it's going to take up a lot of space here. So it needs that much space to open like that. Okay, once I establish that, I think everything looks pretty good. Is the stove a good size? Yes. There's a toilet here. There's a sink and a little shower. And these are all the symbols you can find when you look online and find a blueprint. The symbols for a shower, for an oven, for a toilet, etc. Water heater is just a circle with WH. probably HVAC for the HVAC system right there. All right, so how do you transfer this to a wall? Well, you take a piece of foam that is going to sit on the floor and become your wall, and you transfer all the objects. I made this one just a little bit too long, so I'm going to cut this off just right here with my hobby knife in a minute. I want the side walls to be the same width as this, and I want the end walls then to fit inside those. So the end walls, make sure you don't make the end walls the same width, 4 inches, because then there's not enough room. Once you put one wall on, these have to be a little bit shorter to fit between the side walls. So what I did is just transferred the lines. So with a ruler, I'm like, okay, well, this is how wide I wanted my TV. And so I basically saw where it was and went straight up on the wall where I want it. Over here, same thing. This is where it is down here on my blueprint. So the side view is a little bit different because you can't see everything. All I had is there's a flat screen TV on the wall right here. It's pretty skinny. And then there's some storage. So the storage, I decided you need storage. A tiny house, your biggest challenge is storage. And so this wall is a perfect place to have bookshelves. So there'll be some books here and some DVDs and whatever else you need. My Xbox will be right here underneath the TV. And then some drawers where really it's a dresser. It can be a dresser because upstairs, not a whole lot of room. So I might want to put socks, things like that, t-shirts in drawers. Or I can put other things in there. It doesn't really matter. So I lined that up. I also lined up the utility closet. So you just want to, and I've been making a few modifications here and there. So I think I'm going to widen my utility closet. But you basically just transfer your lines up from your floor plan up to the sidewall to make sure if everything's good on your floor plan, you know it's going to be good on your sidewall. Once you're good with that, and you're happy with where everything is, of course, I need to also do the other wall, and I'm going to basically show where the table is, and this is going to be a side view. How tall is the table? This is also where the bathroom is and that kind of stuff. And so I'm going to show pretty much what it looks like looking this way at that wall. And then the end walls are pretty much just a door opening with a door and a window. That's the way you come in at the end of the trailer. And this side is just a window above the sink. Okay? And then the trailer hitch is right there. So once you do those things, all those walls, then you'll take a nice Sharpie or pen or colored pencils, and you'll use a ruler and ink it in, which means make it look nice and neat and straight. Pick the person in your group who has the nicest handwriting and print everything and label everything. So you'll end up, when we take off the roof of your tiny house, we'll be able to see down in your tiny house and see all these symbols. We won't be building the actual 3D furniture and appliances. Maybe for extra credit, if you're interested, tackle that. Go for it. I am more than willing to give you extra credit for that. It's a lot of work just doing this, let alone building the 3D stuff. So the outside of the trailer will be decorated, will be painted. The windows will have window trim. It'll have glass in the windows, plastic glass in the windows. The roof will have shingles. It'll look finished, beautiful. We'll have license plate on the back. We'll have some brake lights. But the inside will just be like a nice inked in drawing of design of where everything would go if you were going to build and finish this tiny house. And so that's it for this first video. I will work on inking this in and then building the thing and I'll show you how that looks as it progresses. So that'll get you started. But for now, Mr. Johns is out.